The Emirates Group generated $34.9 billion in revenue in 2024-25. Profit before taxes? $5.8 billion. The company transported 53.7 million passengers during that period, operating 260 wide-body aircraft, each costing between $200 and $450 million. And there's more. 367 new aircraft have already been ordered, including 270 Boeing 777X, and a financial commitment exceeding $150 billion when you add engines, maintenance, and spare parts over the next 3 decades. This entire empire depends on a single point on the map, Dubai International Airport. And here's the problem. DXB occupies only 2,900 hectares, less than Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, which is more than twice its size, at 6,963 hectares. DXB handled 92.3 million passengers in 2024. Dallas, only 87.8 million, and a space twice as large. Dubai is squeezing nearly 20% more traffic in half the territory, and it operates with just 2 parallel runways so close together they can't function independently. Therefore, the world's most profitable airline is trapped in the planet's most congested airport, and Emirates has just ordered enough aircraft to double its capacity over the next 15 years. The math simply doesn't add up. The solution? Move everything to a new airport in the desert. Cost $35 billion. Capacity 260 million passengers annually, almost 3 times Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson, the current world leader. It's the largest logistical relocation in aviation history. But there's a problem. If anything goes wrong, all of Dubai collapses. Atlanta handles 104 million passengers per year on 5 runways. Heathrow, 79 million on 2 runways, but with spacing that allows independent operations. Dubai, 92 million on 2 runways operating almost as one. The result? 440,000 aircraft movements in 2024, 1,200 flights per day, every day, all year long, day and night, without breaks. The runways are operating at 96% of theoretical maximum capacity. Emirates was founded in 1985 with 2 leased aircraft. 40 years later, it became a global leader operating exclusively long-haul wide bodies concentrated in a single hub. No domestic flights, no short regional routes, only high-capacity international connections passing through Dubai. The current fleet? 116 Airbus A380s, half of all super jumbos ever manufactured in the world, and 141 Boeing 777s. Emirates is the largest operator of both types. It recently added the Airbus A350-900 with 73 units ordered. But the real commitment lies in the future. 270 Boeing 777X, the largest wide-body order in history. 35 Boeing 787 Dreamliners, and complete retrofits of more than 200 aircraft already in operation. That's 367 new aircraft on the way, with deliveries through 2038. Each additional aircraft means more fuel. $8.9 billion spent on fuel alone in 2024-25, representing 31% of operational costs. More crew, more maintenance, and most importantly, more airport slots. Slots that Dubai simply no longer has to offer. Unlike competitors that diversify operations across multiple hubs, Emirates concentrates absolutely everything on a single point. And it worked. Dubai is positioned halfway between London and Sydney, between New York and Mumbai, between Sao Paulo and Bangkok. The favorable geography transformed into a connectivity machine. In 2014, aviation alone contributed $26.7 billion to Dubai, 27% of the city's GDP. But dependency has a price, and an expensive one. Furthermore, there's another problem: Fly Dubai. Technically separate from Emirates, Fly Dubai is another Dubai state-owned carrier created in 2009 as a regional low-cost airline. It operates extensive code share, feeds Emirates long-haul flights, and shares the same hub. The numbers reveal the inefficiency. Emirates accounts for 51% of passengers and 42% of aircraft movements at DXB. Fly Dubai, only 13% of passengers, but 25% of movements. Translation, a quarter of all airport slots carry only 1/8 of the passengers. This happens because Fly Dubai operates Boeing 737s with 180 to 190 seats. A single Emirates A380 transports 615 passengers in the same slot, same runway, radically different yield. In November 2025, Fly Dubai ordered 225 additional aircraft, 150 A321neos and 75 Boeing 737 MAXs, for delivery between 2031 and beyond, exactly when DXB will be suffocating. The traffic numbers tell an even more complicated story. 89.1 million in 2018, pandemic collapse, recovery to 87 million in 2023, record 92.3 million in 2024, 8.2 million in just December. Official projections, 94 million in 2025, 98 million in 2026, 100 million in 2027. Paul Griffiths, CEO of Dubai Airports, admitted that with extreme optimizations, DXB's absolute limit is 115 million. After that, there's no physical space to expand. The airport is completely surrounded by residential areas, and the competition is accelerating. Doha Hamad, 45 million in 2024, Istanbul, 76 million, but the real threat comes from Riyadh. King Salman International Airport will have capacity for 185 million by 2050, with massive investment and the new Riyadh Air ordering dozens of wide-bodies to compete directly with Dubai. Dubai can't wait. Losing competitiveness now means permanently ceding ground to its neighbor. The solution lies 37 kilometers into the desert. Al-Maktoum International Airport, DWC. Inaugurated for cargo in 2010, expanded for passengers in 2013, it always operated on a limited scale, only 1.5 million passengers in 2024. During the pandemic, it served as parking for inactive A380s. In April 2024, Sheikh Mohammed approved Phase 2, investment of 128 billion AED, $35 billion. The plans are monumental: 5 parallel runways, 4 terminals, 400 gates, initial capacity of 150 million by 2034, final capacity 260 million passengers annually, plus 12 million tons of cargo. Total size 70 square kilometers, 3 times the current DXB. The world's largest airport by capacity when completed. Concourse 1, equivalent to DXB's 3 current concourses combined, is already under construction, 2.7 kilometers long, 100 gates, 1.8 million square meters. 2 new runways will complement the existing ones. Griffiths declared that DXB will reach maximum capacity in 2031. In 2032, the complete transition to DWC should begin. Fly Dubai migrates first. Emirates follows progressively. But the risks are colossal. Transferring more than 3,500 weekly flights, each coordinating crew, baggage, catering, fuel, maintenance, handling, customs, from one airport to another while maintaining operations? Tim Clark, president of Emirates, called it a gigantic logistical exercise unprecedented in aviation. Operating 2 hubs simultaneously for years means duplicating infrastructure costs. Any delay paralyzes operations. Then there's the demand risk. The $35 billion assumes continuous growth for decades. A prolonged recession, changes in travel patterns, or advances in video conferencing could leave the airport undercapacitated, a white elephant of historic dimensions. DWC is in the middle of the desert, without direct metro access. The nearest station is 5 kilometers away. There are plans for transport infrastructure, but they need to be ready before the transition. Otherwise, passengers will face commutes of more than an hour, making Dubai less competitive than Doha or Istanbul. And there's the sovereign financial risk. Dubai nearly defaulted in 2009, rescued by Abu Dhabi with $10 billion. Betting everything on a mega project creates dangerous concentrated exposure. The move is simultaneously essential and too risky to fail. Emirates generated $5.8 billion in 1 year, more than most airlines generate in a decade. But it did this by concentrating absolutely everything on a point on a map that's running out of space. With 367 aircraft ordered and sustained growth, the bottleneck is impossible to ignore. The solution requires transferring the entire ecosystem to a $35 billion airport in the desert, a move that could guarantee global dominance for a century or expose Dubai to the greatest financial risk in its history. Because if DWC fails, if costs explode, demand doesn't materialize, logistics crumble, it won't just be an airport that collapses. It will be Dubai's entire economic strategy of the last 40 years. And in this game, there's no second chance.